researching it in the last years, and that's why we're probably debating about it today. Firstly, I will introduce definitions of some terms such as AI, intelligence, and advanced AI. Then I will tell you about the current state of researching and development of advanced AI. Then I will introduce our first argument, which is pursuit of knowledge, in which I will talk about how science and technology are something that we should always seek to advance in. And the second argument, which is improving fields of work, in which we'll talk about the pragmatic consequences of using advanced AI. So the first will be why development is good, per se, and the second will be why the use of it is good. And the third argument which will be introduced by my second speaker. Intelligence is the ability of problem solving. Artificial intelligence is a software or a machine that uses intelligence to that uses algorithms of sort to solve problems. And advanced AI is such artificial intelligence that solves problems indistinguishably from human. For example, for software, that means that it can pass Turing's test, which is you give a problem of sorts to that AI, and if you cannot distinguish is it a human in more than 50% of cases, if you cannot say if it's human or robot or AI, then it has passed the Turing's test. So in the current state of things, mostly we develop narrow AI, that is specialized AI which is good in some areas and it's completely useless in others. That's why, that is because it's really hard to program an AI that is capable of doing things, being good in a broad spectrum of things. And that's why we have to start from somewhere. So, as an example of this advancement of narrow AI, we have a composer AI. It's called Emily, and it is good because it has passed Turing's test. It composes music better than the current great musicians couldn't tell if it was composed by a human composer or by this software. And also we have an example of conversation AI, like Cleverbot, or we have an example of an AI such as smart cars, cool cars. So they're good only in one thing and not in the others. And currently we also have some sort of regulations on advanced AI. It's called Stanford Agreement. People who developed advanced AIs or AAI have sat down and told us what can we do, who can develop advanced AI, what can we use it for, and why. What are some regulations it must follow? Yes.
Is this Stanford Agreement legally binding, and does that compel all people developing AI to adhere to its principles?
Like most international agreements, it is not. There is no entity to enforce those agreements, but the general public of the world can have pressure on it. So it is followed by, let's say, means of economic consequences. So every technology must have some sort of regulations, and that's why we have that Stanford Agreement. So we think that the pursuit of knowledge per se is good. Science and technology. Development of both of these things is necessary for us as we unravel the secrets of the universe and we know more of its functioning and mechanisms. That enables us to continue on exploring, to know even more. And also we can find some uses for that knowledge we have gained. If not instantaneously, then later on. For example, limits and calculus in mathematics have been invented with the pure purpose of solving equations, but later they were a huge part of advancing in IT and in theory of relativity and so on. No, thank you. So we believe that the science because we believe that we must develop and continue support the use of development of advanced AI, because that's basically a technological advancement and a scientific advancement. And science is good because it gives us knowledge. Knowledge is a huge and important value which we need in our lives. Further on, that AI we have, advanced AI we have developed so far, or we will develop, can be used to improve fields of work. So example, that's like a practical use for this AI. We can give it, we can use it in, to help us in decision making, or more importantly, we can use it to process huge amounts of data faster than us. I mean, the AI, no, thank you. The AI is good because it can do things humans can do, but it has every available input and every available information instantaneously. Unlike us, we have to remember those formulas. We have to. We sometimes get mind blocked. AI cannot do that. I mean, the AI is much more efficient and faster in solving problems it does than humans. We can use them, for example, in medicine to have in diagnostic process based on symptoms the people who are ill have. We can find what is most likely to be their illness and suggest some ways of treating it. Also, we can use it in science. The advanced AI has all the formulas, all the knowledge we will give it, and it can also do what scientists do. It will probably be even faster than we humans, for the reasons I said before. Also, it can work on solving the problems of pollution, like saying what is the most efficient mechanism to deal with it, and so on. So the AI mainly can integrate to some processes. It can make them more efficient, or it can completely replace some people in what it does, if it's so better than them. And yes, we accept that technology per se, it's not good or bad. It can be used in both the good and bad ways. For example, I can use a knife to cut a vegetable, or I can use a knife to kill you. And yes, we know that every technology can be misused, and that's why those agreements I said before and regulations are necessary, and we believe that with it we can support the use of advanced AI.
If we take into account the risk to survival of humankind itself, if we take into account significantly negative outcomes to human labor, and if we take into account the likely race to develop the most destructive artificial intelligence weapons, it is obvious that the use and development of AI is something not to be supported. So what the side proposition didn't do well is that they completely disregarded the risk that developing artificial intelligence brings, and what we are going to show you in our first argument, and I will show by my second argument the bad outcome on human labor. That is also something that side opposition is disappointed that we didn't hear a good economic analysis in their first speech. So let me start with refuting what they just stated. We would just like to add that it's important to know that advanced artificial intelligence will not only be as good as humans, but will be significantly better than humans at doing some jobs, because it is, for example, it has unlimited memory storage, it has significantly larger speed of solving problems, it doesn't have human biological needs such as need to rest, need to eat, need to socialize, need to drink water, and it has the constant ability to upgrade and adjust. We would like to stress out that intelligence is ability of problem solving, and that intelligence is the ability of solving its tasks, and one of the requisites as efficiently as possible. And one of the reasons that need to be considered is that in order for tasks to be solved as efficiently as possible, advanced artificial intelligence will try to firstly ensure its existence, and secondly try to reassure that it has enough resources, and we'll show later why that is very dangerous. As we have stated that their argument of pursuit of knowledge doesn't take into account that Stanford Agreement is not legally binding and there is no entity to enforce it. If people at Stanford and MIT develop AI consciously and with regarding the risk we'll later state, it's okay, but not everybody is compelled to develop it safely. Also, we must We must use tools that increase our progress in science and technology, but AI, especially advanced artificial intelligence, is not something that we should use. And also, because there is the problems of that human values not being addressed. Firstly, we are not even sure what human values are, and we can't really ensure that AI in every given task respects human values. For example, AI is not aware that if it can decide that in order to solve a task as efficiently as possible, it needs more power. And for example, this is just an example, but if it decides to divert electricity from some other points in a city, it is not aware that that is bad to humans. And what is even more important is that we already stated that AI is better than humans in some regards. It can do things humans can't do, and it can do things humans can do but better. Companies will invest in that, no thank you, because they do not need to pay for AI, only the cost of developing it is very insignificant when compared to the fact that otherwise they have to pay wages to workers each month. And also, humans will lose even the most important jobs. For example, doctors. There will be no more jobs for them, and there will be, because, for example, Industrial Revolution, we replaced human muscles with mechanical muscles, but we are now replacing minds that people won't be able to do anything. They'll be unemployed, and when you have a situation where companies increasingly invest in AI, and they do not need to pay for workers anymore, and side proposition didn't address that at all. Didn't address the problem of growing unemployment that is bound to happen, and we all know that unemployment leads people to live dissatisfied lives. It even increases the risk of, for example, some psychological diseases. So let me get to my first substantial point. The use of AI poses an existential risk to humans. Existential risk is change to society on a major scale that is contrary to human interest and even threatens the human survival itself. We have already showed that as AI is more cost efficient than humans and useful in all aspects of human life, companies will increasingly begin to invest in AI and not in workers, and will have a lot of income and the inequality in the society will be even more pronounced, as there are people who own AI and own practically the whole means of production, and people who are not working and have nothing to feed their families from. There's also a chance of AI not acting in the human interest. I've already mentioned that, but AI doesn't have nor understand human values. It is very unlikely that humans will ever make AI that is possible to comprehend human values and act in accordance with them, as it is impossible to list all the things AI is not allowed to do. And it's also more important that human values, or the way we value human life now, may not be the same 200 years from now. The risk of AI has multiple layers. First, when humans assign a task to it will try to reach the conclusion in the most efficient way possible and implementing the most efficient solution. Both parts present a threat to humans because AI may do something in the process of finding the best solution that endangers humans because it does not comprehend that that is bad and focuses on efficiency only. And also, if such a scenario happens, where for example AI acts contrary to human interest, as it is too powerful, there is no switch off. AI is more intelligent and more powerful, and it can upload itself to the internet in order to ensure that it exists constantly, and we can turn off the internet. And I'll now go on to my second substantive, the negative impact on human labor, which I've already mentioned by directly refuting their points. So there will be a significant transition period where only very rich companies will be able to develop it, and they'll be in a significant advantage. Humans will be unemployed, and companies will, and we have already shown that companies will invest in AI, and you may speak.
Have new economic possibilities and new workplaces have been developed after the first industrial revolution, second industrial revolution, and IT revolution?
Thank you for that point. After we replaced human labor in fields with, for example, tractors, there was always something for people to do afterwards. They could do industry, they could do trade, but now there is nothing that humans can do that AI can't do better. So there are also, so let me get into, people also socialize less, because automatization and AI implementation leads them not to work, and work is a crucial part of socialization and building identity. And if they do not socialize, people won't have purpose in their life anymore. And also what's even more dangerous is that when AI does brain work, people work is reduced basically to pushing buttons when needed. That leads to people to know very little about the production process, easy to manipulate, and humans basically have no need for knowledge, and the AI is acquiring more and more knowledge, and as it has more knowledge, it is more powerful. So what we have shown is that because of those two significant points that the side proposition has not addressed at all, that we completely should not support the use and development of advanced artificial intelligence, as the change it will bring about is singularly negative. Thank you.
As the government side, we claim to you that progress can seem dangerous at first, but it is not only inevitable, but in the long run, it will be good for humankind. And during the course of my speech, by rebuting their arguments and accusations of our failures, and insisting on the fact that they still haven't disputed the fact that AI will result in the betterment and the general advancement of many fields of work, we will also prove why their so-called harms are redundant and actually do not exist. How? Well, firstly, I will directly counter their whole big attack / argument. They used it in both failure of the economy, actually with our third argument, which is economic transition, which are in direct clash with each other. Then I'm going to speak about how it is actually impossible for AI to develop to a point where they will counter our interests unless we're watching Terminators, because the scientists who are developing it know exactly what they're doing, and I'm going to prove it how. And then in the end, I'm going to speak about the general philosophy of the threat of progress. So let us begin. Firstly, they have a big claim that our entire economy will fail because many people will lose jobs and they will be in poverty. Well, our argument, economic transition, counters that in many ways. Firstly, in which exact fields will AI work and how? Well, we're proud to announce that it is able to completely replace menial jobs where workers are forced to work in mines or cut lumber, no thank you, or stuff like that, because it's a very simple argument, and we're happy for people not to have to do these jobs. But we believe that human minds and their unique capabilities will be able, just like in the Industrial Revolution, transition to different jobs in which they will work together with AI to create, no thank you, the best possible combo of working. Such professions are the profession of a professor. So a professor needs, especially in primary schools, have that unique connection with the students. Yes, the robot can memorize many information about them, much information about them, but human teachers have that empathy and understanding of students and that nurturing capabilities that simply can be taught by that AI simply can be taught, because, as they said, they have no moral comprehensions or values, and these values are best transferred by humans. But not only that, not only will humans keep these nurturing jobs, but also AI will be able to assist them in these jobs, because, for example, why would the professor waste their time on grading tests when the AI can simply check the test? Why would the professor waste time no thank you, on printing out papers when the AI can do it, or remembering dates or things like that. So they can work in conjunction, creating a world where no one has to do menial, pointless jobs, and where people can transition to the sector of nurturing, which we believe will grow, because as we have all the resources provided by the robots, people will have more space to pursue and pay for activities such as this. This and more examples include psychology, which of course requires human value and empathy. The doctor-patient relationship, of course, no thank you, we can implement AI to help diagnostic, but humans still need it. And even if, no thank you, we live in a world where employers only buy exclusively AI and get money from the AI and throw workers away, governments still have ways of dealing with that to create a balance in the economy. For example, governments can specifically tax certain employers if they only purely hire AI because their people are obviously starving. So the government can simply say, no, we will not stand for this. If you hire exclusively robots, we will tax you, and part of that profit will go back to the people. So I think the economy transitions itself. Their second attack was very ambiguous. Saying practically that we can't possibly know if the AI will betray us because they're unpredictable. But AI exists today, just not that advanced, and scientists, people who develop AI, know exactly how it works, and I can tell you how. AI work on algorithms, very, very complex algorithm. If this happens, do this. If that happens, do this. And you can set limitations. You may never do this. If ever this comes, don't do that. By creating such a system, we can allow space for AI to learn new information, but scientists, as was stated in the Stanford Agreement, can specifically state which things AI must never do, and they will follow that algorithm. Go ahead, sir.
If a system is limited by such things as algorithms, is it really intelligent?
Yes, because AI exists today. A calculator is an AI. It solves a problem that is usually solved by human minds. Advanced AI is nothing more than an extremely advanced algorithm. It is science fiction that we can create robots who are fully self-actualized humans with values. You said it yourself. And their third line of attack is equally ambiguous, saying that no one is stopping people from abusing this. Who knows, maybe there's a maniac out there who will not follow the Stanford Agreement that will cause mass devastation. But can't you say that for every scientific and otherwise development there was in history, if a biotechnician who works on eliminating a virus and works for a cure for a virus suddenly decides to let that virus out into the population, he could exterminate cities. If a nuclear engineer wanted to blow up his nuclear reactor, bad things would happen. If someone accidentally made a misstep there, hell, if someone has a knife, they can kill someone. We believe that it is only the natural progression of human societies to, when they create new progress, which is controllable, which is a set of algorithms, we generally know how to put them in certain bounds to prevent repercussions. We have enough nuclear power to destroy the world 3,000 times over, yet nuclear bombs are not thrown all the time, because humans, the natural progression of development is for humans to find workarounds around potential problems. And of course, it can still be misused. Everything can be misused, and more can be achieved. So, what is the government side telling you? The government side is telling you that we specifically have benefits from the development of AI, because we progress science, which leads to new enlightenment. Jobs are much more secure and better advanced. We can give better service to people, and as I stated with my third rebuttal / constructive argument, the economy is transitioning, and people are getting better paid jobs, and they can do them more efficiently. And what does the opposition side tell you? Well, we don't know, maybe something bad can happen, the economy will ruin itself. No, it will not, it is simply not political, and hopefully we have proven to you that you should propose this notion, because we have clear, provable benefits opposed opposed to sheer paranoia. Thank you.
AI, once developed, will continue its development itself, and we will not be able to limit it. Good day, everyone. My name is Maya, and today I'm going to be the second speaker of the opposition side. First of all, I'm going to refer to the second speech of the affirmative side, and then I'm going to bring in my third substantive, which is going to talk about AI becoming way too powerful as a weapon that can be misused. So to start, first of all, we think it would be very good to refer to the point of the affirmative side, which says that a calculator is also AI. According to their and our definition, AI is something that has the ability to solve problems and to solve tasks efficiently. That is not a calculator. Then you are missing the point of AI itself. Then you are actually proposing something that you do not even understand, which is an extreme problem in this motion, because a calculator is no AI, and that's the fact. We are here actually talking about a great thing, something that is a great problem actually, something that can cause even bigger problems and that we cannot support. Afterwards, you said that there will be, no thank you, no existential risk because we will be able to limit it. Now, to refer to this point, we will not have any sort of ability to limit AI. Why? Because once developed, AI is going to develop itself faster and faster every day. AI is going to get smarter than humans. AI is going to be better in anything than human. And that is a major problem because once it gets better than us, we will not be able to control AI. And that makes it a huge, no thank you, a huge existential risk. Also brings in a huge risk of misuse and is not something we are supposed to support. Later on, they said that no one will make an evil AI, which is an extremely misunderstood point that we bring out in our first speech. Because we say it's true that no one is going to make an evil AI, but the problem is that once we have AI, it can be misused, which means it can be used in an evil way, in a problematic way, which is why we should not support it. Because not only... Go on.
Then we should not support nuclear energy because it does not provide us with the most efficient way to create electricity, but it can be used to destroy countless lives.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, on to their third substantive, which says economic progress. The point of this substantive was that AI is going to work better and that employers are going to buy something that AI did, which makes these companies have more profit. Which I'm going to show you throughout this during my referring to this argument, is that this is the problem with people's unemployment. We're going to have a great problem that people will not have their job, because just as I stated before, people will lose their jobs because once the AI gets better than us, we will have no need for humans. Because why would you hire a doctor when you have AI that's going to perform each and every surgery in a better way than a human?
Point.
No, thank you. This is why we are not supposed to support AI, because it's going to take away all of our jobs. There will be no need for humans to continue working. And the point that you said is that then employers will have more money and profit is extremely wrong, because who is going to buy these products? When we have a society where people do not work, there will be no one to buy them. And that is why the entire substantial point that you stated is not standing on the ground. That is just completely wrong, because there can't be any sort of an economic progress when we have the entire society that has no job. Now, I would like to refer to my third substantive, which is that AI will become way too powerful as a weapon. I'm going to explain this substantive in 3 points. First of all, military dominance. Second of all, moral value. And third of all, misuse. So, on to the first point, which is military dominance. All states in the world actually pursue military dominance, which is why they will start developing AI. be a very advantageous weapon. We can see this on the example of nuclear energy, because states that have nuclear energy are in the military who's way more like stronger and more powerful.
Point now.
No, thank you. This is why AI development will make a military race between these countries. And AI also leads to inventing more bad weapons, which leads to the unstable world, because weapons will be more available, and this is one wrong move, which is going to be enough, because once we develop AI, we're not going to be able to stop it. We're going to have like the entire range of bad things happening. Also, onto the second point, which is moral value.
Point.
No, thank you. To see this on the example of autonomous weapons, or for example, drones. What happens when these autonomous weapons make a mistake? And who is then to blame? Because we are giving human life to something that is not human and that has no human value, that has no moral value. And then when it makes a mistake, for example, it kills innocent people, then who are we to blame? Can we blame AI? Should we blame the person that invented AI and developed it? No, because we won't know who to blame. We will have autonomous weapon, and once it makes a mistake, which is extremely possible to happen, because that is just a machine. That is something that can just break and then make a major mistake, and then we have no one to blame, because AI has no human values, and there is no possible way for AI to have these values. And with no human values, we can't just let something artificial have such a decision like deciding on a human life. Because if, while deciding on a human life, we need to consider all of the factors. And that is not possible, and is possible only in the case of humans. Also, on the third point, which is misuse. AI can be extremely dangerous because it can be misused, which is why it can't be supported. AI is a really powerful weapon and will be able to create more and more dangerous weapons, and in the wrong hand it can be extremely dangerous and used for a bad cause, and which is why we don't need more terror and wars. AI is only going to lead to more wars. AI is going to lead to more competitiveness between the states. This is why AI should not be supported. Now, to sum up my speech, what I showed you through this speech is that AI is an extremely dangerous thing that we should not support. And we should not support the use and development of AI, because it can be misused, it can just develop itself, we cannot limit it. AI has no human values, AI just does anything to achieve its goal, no matter what, even though it means to kill an innocent human being. This is why we should not support the use and development of advanced artificial intelligence, and this is why this motion should be opposed.
We live in 21st century, and what opposition today gave us, what they proposed to us, is that we should ignore every chance of any progress. So they say that anything that can be used in wrong way should not be okay, should not be allowed. So we can start from, I don't know, any little thing that can be used in wrong way, that for team of opposition should not be used in today's world. So, hi, my name is Nika. I'm the third speaker of proposition, and through my speech, I will try to show you how the proposition team showed you how we should not be feared of the progress, because through the past we saw progress. People were scared, but that caused a lot of good things, a lot of benefits for people, for everybody on the planet. I will try to show you that through three questions, which are, let's say, call it three questions that are economy analysis of, we talked about, thank you, we talked about that a lot in debate. There are the questions of people losing their jobs because of the AI. Then I will talk if AI can be used in a wrong way, and is that bigger problem or bigger issue than maybe getting to know new medicines, new ways to save people's lives, new ways to be faster and more efficient doing some work. And maybe the one of the biggest clashes too is that the fear of progress that the opposition team has through the whole debate. So let's start. So about economy analysis. So yes, of course, we at the start said that AI will be used as, let's call it, extended hand for the people. So I don't know when the teacher thank you. When the students are writing tests, why should teacher check the test if it's the test on circling answers? So that can do, let's call it AI, and all that kind of the jobs where no emotions are needed. That's what we told you in the first speech, in the second speech, because that's some big questions that the opposition team asked us, as how can they be they will be doctors, they will be professors, they will take all of our jobs. But what we say to you that, of course, that to all companies, to all people, that to all employees is all that is important too. That we have people to do jobs where the emotion is needed. So of course AI who cannot feel something will not do that kind of job. Of course AI won't be doctor if there is a need for some emotions, and that kind of job will do still humans. What AI is and will be is the help, and the help that will help us to do something faster and more efficient and better, of course. Yes.
Just as you said, AI is going to be better than humans, then why do we have the need for humans in any sort of jobs?
No, what you said is that AI is being made by humans. Yes, of course. Let's say that AI is better of humans in a way that they are faster. They can do something faster, so the job where the emotion is not being needed, there AI can be useful. But in the job where emotions are needed and AI that doesn't have it, they won't be used in those jobs. So that's the point. That's the point that humans are making AIs. They're controlling it. They're turning it on and they're turning it off. They have some power. So that humans are the ones that controls those AIs. Will that be softwares, systems, programs? Those are something that humans control. And at the end of the day, if AI is being, let's call it, danger, we can always turn it off. And that's here we can go to the next question, that is, can AI be used in the wrong way? Of course, everything can be used in the wrong way. We can use knife in the wrong way. We can use knife to chop something, to chop somebody's hand, or we can use knife to chop vegetable. So every kind of thing can be used in the wrong way. We can use dynamite to blow whole block of the whole block, or we can use dynamite to help in the mines. So everything can be used the wrong way, but where would we be if in the past people people in the past, I'm sure, had all those fears about technology too. They probably had those big fears when they made first computer too. What will that computer be made? People would probably would be really surprised what today's computers and today's programs can make. They would be, how do you do that? But that's the progress, that's the technology, that's the 21st century we live in. And we should not be feared of technology, and we should not be feared of progress that can maybe give us a big benefit. So, as I said, that's the fear, that's the third question, that is the fear of progress. So, they are not, the side of opposition is not allowing, by saying that AI should not be allowed, they are saying that they are not allowing any kind of progress. Because why? Because they are feared, because their fears are bigger, and they can see the probably big benefits that we can get from AI. The more faster, efficient work, the maybe exploring new, nature, exploring seas, exploring new medicines that we need to have to help and save people's lives. So where should we stop? We asked them, what about nuclear energy? That is really dangerous. And they said, okay, So we should stop using it in the good ways. We should stop using everything that is potential danger because of the fear. Because yes, there are mean people in the world. So we should stop using anything. Maybe we should then stop using computers. Look, computers gave us all this information that we are using to this debate on this tournament. But by computers, you can, I don't know, you can steal someone's bank's account and money on it. So we should maybe stop using computers too. Maybe we should stop using everything that is potential danger to us. That's what the side of opposition, they're trying to stop the big progress that can bring us really big benefits. As we said, because we can, by our first argument, we said that there is some pursuit of knowledge because of the AI. In our second argument, we said that we can improve fields of work. In our third argument, we show you that even AI can be beneficial in economical transition. So, because all of these reasons, because of not being fearless, because not giving mean people chance to stop us in to have a better place to live. Because of that, you should propose this motion. Because we're not going to give all mean people in the world that want to use all this stuff in the wrong way, we won't allow them to stop us in the progress. Thank you very much.
Okay, hello everybody, my name is Carlo, I'm the third speaker of the opposition of this debate, and I would like to show you firstly in my speech how there has been some significant points that the proposition of this debate has not touched, that are still remain rock solid for us, and also I will have to state that we, as a proposition, of course, as an opposition, of course, we endorse every good betterment to our society, every good benefit to society, every technological advance except this one. Of course, it is great to have all cancer cured, it is great to have efficiency maximized, it is great to have, I don't know, better schooling due to some things, but how can all that be better if in the end we will all be dead? Why will we all, of course, we are not fearing progress. But who will fear that progress when we are all dead? Why will we all be dead? Well, we have our first argument that I think Hervé has fairly explained, and that is existential risk. Why is there an existential risk to us humans? Because AI has no human values. AI can risk our existence in the process of thinking the solution we assign it to, and when doing that solution, it can also put us at risk. No, thank you. Okay, so what I want to say is it surely is more efficient. It surely does things better. Not only faster, it is more efficient. It has no biological needs for food, sleep, and rest. It has a limited memory. And of course, it has constant need to upgrade. In that constant need to upgrade, it can also endanger us because it may see us humans at some point as a hazard to it. It may see, hey, these humans will try to plug me out. Well, I will not allow them. I will try to point. No, thank you. I will secure my existence by killing all the humans. That it can happen. Even though it is like 0.0009% of that thing happening, it is significant. Because no, thank you. If there is 0.00009% of anything, it is very great for us, and it is putting our existence in very dangerous. Very dangerous. Okay, so your first argument was pursuit of knowledge, which I have said that we do pursue knowledge. We do pursue any technological betterment to our society. It brings us better lives, it brings us better standards, but not if it puts our very existence so much at risk. And here I have to make a distinction between a knife and an AI. Of course, a knife can bring a lot of goods, but we can defend ourselves fairly from a knife. We can no, thank you. We have, of course, we have atomic energy, but it can happen. Some small mistakes can happen, and but still it provides us with very efficient energy. But of course, we do not allow. No, thank you. We do not allow, for example, atomic bombs and atomic weapons because for example, that is banned. Misuse of atomic energy. But AI is not the same. we do not control AI. AI will be on its own. AI will try to secure its existence, and who knows what it may do to us. No, thank you. Because it is very, very risky, much more risky than a knife or a virus or atomic energy. Of course, you were all saying all the time, commenting how from Industrial Revolution, of course, there were Luddites who were opposing the Industrial Revolution and thinking they will not have anything to do. Well, this is not like Industrial Revolution. In Industrial Revolution, we helped our physical work. This is not anymore physical work. This is our thinking processes and what we do to better our society. No, thank you. Through ideas. If we stop bettering ourselves through ideas, there is no place for us to work. Where else would we work? Of course, physical labor is abolished, not fully, but that is what happened during the Industrial Revolution. I assure you, this is not the same. After this, there is no next step in revolution of work. There is no next step because this is where our work ends. When we implement the AI, it will think for us, it will create for us, and that is something we do not want. Yes, you may speak.
Can you, instead of using logic from science fiction films such as Terminator, can you please use normal logic and explain us how exactly can AI become self-sufficient and self-aware?
Because that is the definition of AI. AI is not a calculator. AI is not. We do not have advanced AI today. Advanced AI is a system that can sustain itself, it can better itself, and it can assure its existence. Okay, I have to point out that you have not touched some main points we made, and that is that AI is not aware sometimes of some things that it can do badly to humans. It can see the solution in something, and it will still be it will not be aware of bad things it can do to humans in the process of doing and getting to that solution. Of course, also you did not touch the fact that we said that it cannot be switched off because it is intelligent. It has a constant strive to survive. It will say, okay, look, my existence is a danger. I don't care about any other's existence. No, thank you. I care only about my existence. I will ensure it. Of course, you have all the time you were saying how this will better our economy through, for example, private companies that will use the AI to better their work, to better their efficiency. Well, we tell you, if this will lead to huge work deficiency, there will be no work, people will endure poverty, then who will buy products from those private companies? Employers will have no profit because humans will not be able to buy anything because firstly AI will diminish our working capabilities and it will make us have no work. Of course, Maya said something very, very importantly, that is in her third argument, misuse of AI, and that is that we cannot give the choice of life to something that is not human. We cannot say somebody decide to kill someone who is human if it's not human. We condemn that if even humans do. We condemn even human doings and restricting other human rights. We cannot allow that for something that is even not human. Of course, you have also mentioned that that it is. You have mentioned that we are. Oh, sorry. Okay, we have mentioned that it is really, really more dangerous than anything else. Again, why? Because there is a greater risk. If there is small chance of risk at stake, it will endanger our existence. So basically what I have did through my speech, I have showed you some basic points that they did not touch that we made and that are still rock solid. That is that AI is not aware of some bad things it can do to humans to get to its solution. And also you did not touch the fact that AI is self-sustaining, that AI will try to consolidate its own existence even if it puts humans at risk because it has no values like humans. And also, I have proven you that we do not control it, and as we do not control it, we cannot put our lives at stake of something that is not human. We cannot put our lives at stake anyway. Thank you.
The side proposition, and everybody here has to be aware, is the following. we agree and we have nothing to refute regarding their 2 points, but we certainly have something to say that even if that happens, and even if they have proven that, there are reasons why that is absolutely not something that is a reason enough for us to support the use and development of AI. Okay, we'll have scientific rise. AI may discover the function that returns all the prime numbers. AI may discover a medicine that will cure cancers. But what good is that to me if I have nothing to do in my life? I certainly won't be satisfied with their answer. We'll all be teachers, we'll all be psychologists. Not everyone can do that, and it's also those jobs, those professions such as teachers or psychologists are also able to, in danger of being replaced by AI. Even if maybe a teacher has some warmth in his voice, it's also what's more important to people who invest in education is that AI is cheaper. It only needs electricity, and that's about it. So even in the production, even in the transition process, people will feel that they are losing their purpose. There will be absolutely no need to acquire more knowledge, as everything that requires that is already being done by AI. People will get dumbed down, and they will basically, what they'll be doing is pushing buttons, and practically that's something that really compels side opposition not to support the use and development of AI. What may be even more significant is the fact that they have defined intelligence, and we have also stated that what intelligence does is try to maximize the efficiency of the task it is performing. And we have clearly shown that in order to maximize that efficiency, some of the prerequisites of that is that AI becomes as powerful as possible, and that AI becomes, assures its existence. That has not been refuted by the side proposition, and that risk of intelligence trying to improve itself has not been addressed by anything else. The only thing we could hear is there's the Stanford Agreement. People at Stanford University decided that in order for AI to develop properly, we should do that, and that. But that is not proving that that will happen. That is because we have shown you through our 3 speeches real danger of that not happening, of people not being careful. And that is something that makes AI continuously improving itself. And that's something that carries a lot of risks. The side proposition made a mistake by not addressing that at all. And what maybe to just reiterate this one more time, okay, there will be scientific rise. AI can make better diagnoses, but their vision of the world where AI and people will cooperate peacefully is just not going to happen. What will happen is that AI will be more cost efficient than humans, and everybody is going to invest in that. And what is also problematic, it carries a lot of risks that I have not been convinced of that they are solvable, and I think nobody in this room should be. And so therefore I think this motion should be strongly opposed. Thank you.
In the history of the world, people have always shunned progress. In fact, people feared the rise of steam engine, medicines, and even geography for some reason. However, continually in the history, we can see a pattern that the same people who tried to deny progress and spread fear-mongering did not use actual arguments. Instead, they used paranoia, contradictions, and logical fallacies. So let me demonstrate to you in this non-constructive part of the government how the opposition side has used exactly that to try to persuade you to oppose. First, the contradictions. They said, AI have no human values. Okay, if AI have no human values or innate emotions, then why would they ever want to protect their own lives? They're not self-aware, they don't have value. Self-protection and care for your own survival is a value that comes from evolutionary emotions, right? We get angry or sad when our life is threatened. But AI is an algorithm, a machine. It has no human values. They say again, AI have no human values. then how exactly can they take all jobs? How exactly can they take jobs that we have mentioned over and over again, such as nurturing, the more nurturing, supporting jobs, the delicate jobs that require emotions, such as being a professor or a doctor or a psychologist, etc., etc. The only time they ever try to review this is actually in their fourth non-constructive reply speech, which is a time way too late to try to institute new attacks such as those. Let us continue with logical fallacies that simply have no ground in the real world and are simply based off of some fallout post-apocalyptic world. The AI will gain self-awareness, massive intelligence, and they will be self-sufficient, therefore they will probably kill us all. No, that is not how AI works. Ask any scientist. In fact, ask Stephen Hawking, who has said this himself. AIs are nothing but extremely complicated algorithms. Algorithms follow a set of rules and regulations. If you type down, never do this, the algorithm will never, in no circumstance, no matter what it learns, no matter how it develops, do that. Yes, AI is advancing itself, but not in the way that they proposed. They're not advancing self-awareness and the need to survive or to rebel. They're just learning new information while following these same algorithms that they ensure that they put in the same position. And then they continue with the same fallacy people have been using throughout history, is that anything that can be misused and used for evil purposes because it's strong should be banned and should not be supported. Well, knives are more dominant than fists in warfare. Let's ban knives. And then they say that it's not the same. But it is the same when you apply the logic. A man with only his fists in his hand has almost no chance in beating another person who has a knife. A person who has a knife almost has no chance of beating someone who has a gun. It goes on and on and on. And AI are simply that, tools such as knives and guns. They cannot develop values and emotion and some self-awareness to rebel. They are the next step in our progress. They are the next things that we will use to assist us in our economy, in our pursuit of knowledge and improving ourselves, and in improving all of the branches of our society in general. And that's why you should, of course, vote for the government, because we're realistic. Thank you.